You can pretend that Pakistan isn't a terror sponsor, but it remains a terror sponsor no matter how much we try to normalize it. You know, it was shocking, but this just goes to show you that you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. You can pretend that Pakistan isn't a terror sponsor, but it remains a terror sponsor no matter how much we try to normalize it. As for the timing, just as there was a terrorist attack when Bill Clinton went to India, so too does it seem that Pakistan wants to draw attention away from Vice President J.D. Vance's trip to India. The United States shouldn't let Pakistan get away with it, and we shouldn't pretend that this is some sort of spontaneous action. And simply put, the only reaction that the United States should take is a formal designation of Pakistan as a state sponsor of terror and a designation of Asif Munir as a terrorist. The only difference between Osama bin Laden and Asif Munir is Osama bin Laden lived in a cave and Asif Munir lives in a palace. But beyond that, the two are the same, and their end should also be the same.
Right. You talked about General Munir from Pakistan. I'm sure you must have seen his speech about Kashmir being Pakistan's jugular vein. A warning sign clearly, out in the public domain. What indications point to cross-border involvement from the Pakistani side when we see that speech?
Well, certainly that speech seemed to green light terror. Asif Munir, General Munir said, this is like Kashmir is the jugular vein. What India now needs to do is to cut Pakistan's jugular. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There are no shortcuts anymore. Asif Munir gave a green light. We know that Pakistan is home to myriad terrorist groups, from Lashkar-e-Taiba, Harakat al-Mujahideen, many, many others. And unfortunately, because of a lack of concerted counter-terror action, because Pakistani diplomats are playing the West for fools, we now have an expansion of the problem, not only in Pakistan, but frankly in Bangladesh as well. But when we look at what happened, how do we know it's Pakistan? The intelligence will come in over the next few days. I'm sure that there's going to be some signals intelligence, there's going to be human intelligence, but we also know, both based on geography, based on precedent, and based on the ideological swamp that is Pakistan's ISI, that they are logistically and ideologically the only country that is the suspect right now.
Lots of experts are drawing parallels with Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hamas and the intelligence, the connections between the two. Do you see shared targeting tactics, specifically attacking civilians and targeting civilians of a particular religion?
You know, that is exactly what went on. When we had the October 7th, 2023 massacre in Gaza, when we had the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel, it was directed specifically against Jews, and not only against Jews, but among the most liberal Jews who were most prone to wanting peace and normalcy with the Gaza Strip, targeting a vacation resort, targeting, if you will, middle-class Hindus, is evident that the Pakistanis are trying the same tactic. Now, it should be no more successful for Pakistan than it was for Hamas, and frankly, it's now the duty of India to do to Pakistan and to Pakistan's ISI what Israel did to Hamas. It's time to wipe out the leadership of the ISI, to treat them as a designated terror group, and demand that every country that is an ally of India, every country that is an ally of the world's largest democracy, do the same. There should be we should stop embracing the fiction that the ISI is a legitimate military organization. We need to convince Washington that the ISI should be treated like Hamas in the Gaza Strip or for that matter, like Kasamsmani, the head of the Quds Force in Iran. In fact, what I would say is if President Donald Trump, during his first term, can target Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's Quds Force, for his role in planning the murder of countless Americans, then there's no reason why Prime Minister Modi can't use the same example and demand that Asif Munir go the way of Qasem Soleimani. He should be one drone away from being permanently removed from the battlefield.